So I've tracked every single dollar from age 18 to 24, and most people think that tracking or budgeting your money is about restriction, cutting spending, pinching pennies, and saying no to everything and never spending any money. But that's not what tracking and budgeting did for me, at least not now. Tracking my expenses showed me what I actually prioritize in life and forced me to ask if that's what I really wanted to value with my time and money. And from age 18 to 24, my relationship with money went through 4 distinct phases, and by the end, I pretty much stopped tracking altogether. Like, I don't even budget anymore. But don't worry, let me explain. Stage 1, the wake-up call. So before I started tracking and budgeting stuff at age 18, I really had no idea what I was doing and where my money was going. I just knew that there was never really enough to do anything. Money would just come and then disappear on maybe food delivery, impulse buys, or whatever subscription that I forgot that I signed up for. And so that's when it kind of all hit me like a slap in the face. So I started to really lock in and start tracking my expenses. Not because I necessarily just wanted to, because I had to. I was getting pretty broke. And honestly, guys, it was pretty brutal. Every dollar that I spent showed me what I was actually prioritizing in my life, not what I said I cared about or what I valued or was interested in. And writing down all my expenses was kind of like looking myself in the mirror for the first time. And honestly, I didn't like what I saw. All that stress and discomfort of looking at kind of like, my own life and choices, it was kind of hard to bear, but it was pretty mandatory because you can't manage what you don't measure. And I realized that I had been flying blind for years. And so I kept tracking every single transaction every single day. And that's when things got a whole lot worse. Stage 2, the system. From what started from a good financial decision, started to become into a sort of unhealthy obsession with money. I wasn't just tracking every single dollar, but I was doing everything that I could to save every single penny. I was buying the cheapest foods, I wasn't going out, I was cutting corners at every single chance I could get. I was doing everything that I could to never spend any money. And so my relationship with money was still broken. And that's when I realized that I really need to start working smarter, not harder, and turn this obsession into a healthy balance. So I decided that I need to build a system that would let me do all of my savings and investings and tracking automatically. So with all the bank accounts, investment accounts that I had, I set up all these automations that would go from my checkings account to my savings account and then to my investments accounts automatically. And I called it the financial flywheel. Basically, whenever I got paid, I had several automations that would automatically move my money for me. One automation would go from my checkings account to my high yield savings account for my emergency fund. Another automation would go from my checkings account to my retirement accounts like my Roth IRA. And then another automation will go from my checkings account into my individual brokerages. This way I can ensure that I'm automatically saving and investing without even doing any of the hard work and without even looking at all of my transactions. I also started investing into a budgeting app so I don't have to manually write everything down on an Excel sheet. That really was, a terrible time. And at the time I was using Mint Mobile. It was free, but it would just automatically do everything. So then once a month or once a quarter, I can look and see how well I did and what was my savings rate. The goal wasn't to track expenses forever. It was just to see where it was going. Now it's time to build the habits and the systems that would eventually run themselves so I can effortlessly build and save my wealth. And this works really well because there's even research in behavioral science that shows that routines and automation help avoid decision fatigue. You're more likely to stick to the plan when you don't have to decide every single time. And during this time, I was still pretty frugal. I just wasn't really cheap. I was still making sure that I was spending money on things that I wanted to do. But now I had the infrastructure and the systems in place where I didn't have to micromanage every single dollar. And honestly, this was a turning point in my wealth building journey that really changed everything. I wrote out a whole article on how to set these systems up on my wealth building newsletter, New Money. So if you want to see more tips like this on building your wealth in your 20s, I send out free weekly breakdowns in my newsletter. It's totally free and the link is in the description below. And honestly, once I had those systems in place and I stopped working harder but started working smarter, those habits really started to stick around because I wasn't really forcing myself to do it anymore. And now that I had the right systems in place, I could really focus on the next stage, which is the optimization. And by this point, around ages 21 to 23, I had the system running like clockwork. All of these things that I was forcing myself to do now just became part of my lifestyle. And because it's a part of my lifestyle, I'm not like white knuckling every single purchase anymore. These habits were becoming automatic and truly authentic to myself and what I really wanted. So I started to give myself more permission to be lenient. I allowed a lot more cheat days because I trusted and knew myself that I wouldn't just go recklessly spending or spending on things that I don't even care about. And I really stopped feeling guilty about spending money on things that actually improved my life. Now during this time, I was still spending a good amount of money, but here's where that money actually went. It was spent on my health, on gym memberships, better food, maybe blood work. I recently got Function, which I really love. I got an Aura ring that I don't have right now. I'm charging. On my education, on buying courses, mentorships, books, even tools, or even my own college degree, experiences like travel, time with people that I actually really cared about. And I was still tracking all my money, but I wasn't obsessing about every single dollar. But the one thing that I did keep an eye on was my investments just to make sure the system was actually working. I think in 2025, I've saved over 60% of my income, and 50% of those savings was actually invested into the stock market. And I track it all using this app called Blossom. This is not sponsored. It pulls all my accounts into one place, and you can see my all returns and everything that I'm investing. And if you follow me on that app, you can actually see everything. I'm pretty transparent on there. You can see all the stocks I'm investing, anything that I'm looking at. It takes like a couple of minutes. I'll leave a description down below if you want to see it, but it's really just a fun way for me to be transparent and show you my portfolio. But the point is, I wasn't really micromanaging everything. I was really focused on investments, which was going to move the needle on my wealth building journey. Got the systems running. I just wanted to make sure that I was headed in the right direction, which was, into assets. And so once this lifestyle and kind of mindset shift has built on, you can really start to let loose on the gas pedal and really start to enjoy life and really build your wealth without all that headache and stress. Once those habits are built, you earn the right to live a little. But for me, the real freedom came in stage 4. Now here's where I am right now. Last year I saved around over 60% of my income, and I don't really track any dollar anymore. I mean, I still have those systems set up. I still have my budgeting account, but I don't really look at it anymore, really. I don't really need to. Instead, I do what's called reverse budgeting. Now this means I just automatically save and invest a set percentage of my income right away. So all I do is focus on how much I actually save and invest, and whatever's left over, I can spend on whatever I want to. So before, I used to try to follow the 50-30-20 principle, which is 50% on needs, 30% on wants, 20% on savings. But you really had to manage, the other 70%, 80% of it, and really meticulously put all your transactions into categories. This type of budgeting only makes you focus on the savings aspect. So whenever I get paid, bam, 50% right away, or whatever percentage that I'm feeling like gets put into savings or investments. Any money that's left over, I can spend however much I want. No guilt, no stress, no spreadsheets. And here's why this works. The habits from stage 2 and 3 are now, just lifestyle. I don't really have to think about them. And the goal was never to be cheap. It was to be free of the stresses and worries of money. But my goal was to get to a place where money isn't my daily concern and I don't have to think about it too much. Wealth isn't just a number, it's an optionality. It's being able to say no to things that don't serve you. It's not waking up stressed. It's having your money work for you while you're asleep. It's about freedom and options. And that's what reverse budgeting gave to me and my kind of philosophy around it and how I built my life. And if you're watching this thinking that, oh, I don't make enough money to even start thinking about this, you're thinking about it all backwards. This system and the purpose of, this exercise isn't about how much you make. That's a different problem. It's about the habits you build and how much you're able to keep. And here's the thing. Most people miss about tracking money. There's one psychological shift that changes how you see money completely, and once you get it, building wealth becomes automatic. I break it all down in this video right here. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. And of course, till next time.